shorty, it's your birthday. We gon' party like it's your birthday. We gon' sip Bacardi like it's your birthday. And you know we don't give up, it's not your birthday. You can find me in the club, bottle full of bug.
There we go. Hello, welcome to the AT&T Super League of Sweetness 2019 Week 1 video cap. Of course, it's me, the commissioner, and defending champion, Super Keith. In these videos, of course, we go over player stats from the matchups that happened, upcoming things, and just other information about the league in general. We'll start it off as normal with my team. McGiblet's Funhouse taking on Eric's 100 yards and running. At kickoff, I was projected to get the win by 2 points, and when it was all said and done, I had a good win, 134 to 120 for a 14-point win difference. I had 6 of my 10 players hit projections, so I had a good turnout there. My quarterback Carson Wentz almost 36 points, beating projection by 10. My wide receiver Keenan Allen, 19 points, beating his projection by 8. I did have a bench wide receiver that would have got me an additional 15 points, but it really wasn't needed. I'll take that win. Now, Eric, he had the flip side. He had 6 of his 10 players miss projection, but he was led by a quarterback, Deshaun Watson, putting up almost 39 points, 12 points of our projection. Tight end TJ Hawkinson putting up 20 points, he did, as a matter of fact, quadruple his projections. A heck of a rookie, first game for the rookie. Gotta love that. And he did have a bench quarterback, Eric did, which would have got him an additional 6.5 points. Not enough for the wins. I'll take the first win of the season over Eric anytime. The next game was Chuck's team taking on Adrian's Blue Nightmare. This was to be our closest game at projection, with Chuck's team with a projected win by less than 0.2 of a point, but when it was all said and done, he had the win by 16 points, 134 to 118. Chuck also had 6 of his 10 players hit projection, led by running back Delvin Cook putting up 25 points, beating projection by 10. Running back David Johnson doing a number on the Lions, putting up almost 20 points, almost 5 points over his projection. Now, Chuck did have a combination of a quarterback, wide receiver, tight end on his bench that would have net him an additional 24 points, but he'll take that win as it is. Now, Adrian, no, he only had 3 of his players hit projection. Wide receiver Sammy Watkins, almost 42 points, quadrupling his projections. With Tyreek Hill going out for the next, 4 to 6 weeks, possibly longer, you probably look Sammy Watkins to be getting the load of the passes, for that offense, besides Travis Kelce. So definitely a late round pick that's getting huge rewards for that. He also had tight end Delaney Walker putting up 17.5 points to double his projection. There were 13 points left on the bench between a wide receiver and a running back. Not enough to get the win, though. The next game was Liz's Captain Rocks take on Rob's Kardashians. Another close game, a less than 1 point underdog Liz started up at, so Rob was projected to get the win, but it didn't happen that way. 172 to 108 for a 64-point win difference, and that's what gets us to our first reward. Not reward, award, I'm sorry. And let's put that bad boy up there. Oh, I got some text too. There you go. Highest score for Liz's team, Captain Rocks, 172 points. She had 7 of her 10 players hit projection. Running back Austin Eckler putting up 34 points, doubling his projection. Who needs Melvin Gordon when you're getting that type of results out? Running back Christian McCaffrey also almost 34 points, doubling his projection. So definitely good results there for Liz. She is quite happy. Now, let's put you guys away. There's also another award for Liz. Right there, perfect lineup. She didn't have any more people on the bench, which could have gotten her another more points. So she made the most of her lineup there. So good stuff for you, Liz. Boom. Now, Rob, he had 7 of his 10 players miss projection. He did have quarterback Tom Brady, almost 35 points, beating projection by almost 7. His kicker, Harrison Butker, 17 points, beating projections by almost 8. Rob did have a wide receiver and tight end on a bench, which would have got him an additional 20.5 points, but wouldn't have been enough for a win. The fourth game was Michael's team, Dub, taking on Mama and her boy. At the projection, Dub was projected to get the win by 2. It ended up being more than that. A 31-point win, score of 106-75. Now, Michael had 6 of his 10 players miss projection. But when you have Patrick Mahomes putting up 39 points and beating his projection by almost 8, that's definitely let you feel good. He also had wide receiver T.Y. Hilton putting up almost 21 points to double his projection. I was worried about T.Y. Hilton after the announcement of Andrew Luck retiring. I thought, oh man, if people drafted T.Y. Hilton early, they would not have drafted him as high as they would have, known that Andrew Luck was gone. But Hilton's still putting up the big numbers, so that's a comfort because I have him in another league. So yeah. Now, there were 2 wide receivers on the bench for Michael, which would have net him an additional 17 points, but a 31-point win difference was a pretty solid one. Now, Jody had 8 of her 10 players miss projection, so only 2 of her people hit it. Wide receiver John Brown, 19 points, doubling his projection, and the other wide receiver Tyler Lockett, the deep threat for Seattle, putting up 11 points, beating projection by 2. Now, she did have a running back and tight end left on the bench, which would have net almost 17 more points. Not enough for the win. Now, the 5th game was Jaquan's Space Monkeys taking on Mary's team. At kickoff, Jaquan was expected to get the win by 6. It ended up being more than that. 143-73 for a 70-point win difference, and that gets an award. Biggest blowout right there. It's a huge, staggering amount there. 70-point win difference, almost doubled Mary's team up. Jaquan had half his team hit projection. Quarterback Phillip Rivers, almost 35 points, beating projection by 9. Running back Jacobs at Oakland, 23 points, doubling his projection? I believe so. He did have a running back and a wide receiver on a bench, which would have net an additional 18 points, but that was a pretty solid win. Now, Mary only had 1 of her players hit projection. Running back Mark Ingram, first year with a new team, putting up almost 24 points, beating projection by 11. She did have a wide receiver running back combination on her bench, which only would have net her 6 more points. Nowhere near enough for that win on there. The last game we'll get to is Sheldon's Big Shell's team taking on Kim Possible. At kickoff, Kim Possible's team was projected to get the win by 11 points, and it was an upset. 112 for Sheldon's team to 97 for Kim's team. So he got the win by 15 points with the upset win there. Sheldon had half his players hit projection. Running back Derrick Henry, almost 29 points, doubling his projection. Quarterback Matt Ryan, almost 28 points, just beating his projection by 2. There was another quarterback, defense, and running back on his bench, which would have net him an additional 19 points, but he'll take that upset win for sure. Now, Kim had 3 of her players hit projection. Running back Marlon Mack, 28 points, doubling projection. Another running back, Chris Kaysen for Seattle, I believe, 18 points, beating projection by 4. Mary also had a committee on the bench. Kim had a committee on the bench, quarterback, wide receiver, and a running back. Almost 64 points on the bench, and unfortunately, if you can figure out that math, that 64 points on the bench is more than the 15 points she lost by, so that earned her a salty loss award there. Yeah, that's sad. Left to win on the bench, especially when you want the first win on there. So a lot of different changes in players. Tight ends had a huge week this week. If you look through, a lot of tight ends did real good. Some injuries, like I said, Tyreek Hill, he's gonna be out for a couple weeks. Don't know. The tight end for the Chargers, Hunter Henry, turned out he blew his knee out. He might be out for the season. I know I drafted him in one of my other leagues, so I'm quite sad about that. But that's just how it is. So definitely work those waiver wires. Today being Wednesday, you guys should have got your updates as far as the 2-day wait on the beginning of the waiver wire process. You would have gotten your substitutions as of right now. Of course, you guys could swap in with no waits now as it's past the original waiver wire time on that. So if you're looking for ways to make your team better, check that out. Check your matchups. Make sure you're getting the best out of your kickers, the best out of your defense. If anyone's suspended or questionable, watch your benches and see what you can do to swap them and make them better. Now, coming up the next week's games, we have my team 1-0. McGiblett's Funhouse taking on Adrian's Blue Nightmare at 0-1. We have the 0-1, 100 yards and running, taking on the 1-0 Big Shells team. The 1-0 Captain Rocks are taking on the 1-0 Chucks team. So one of those two teams are going to have a 2-0 record, for sure. 1-0 Michael's team, Dub, taking on the 0-1 Rob's Kardashians. The 1-0 Space Monkeys taking on the 0-1 Mama and her boy. The 0-1 Kim Possible taking on the 0-1 Mary's team. So someone on that game will finally get their first win. Now, as far as the upcoming games, tomorrow's game, 1 minute still. I could say tomorrow. It's 11:59 tonight. We have Carolina and Tampa Bay, so be sure to check your players if you have an early Thursday game. And then the last game of the week is a Monday night game. Now, this week we only have one Monday night game, not like last week. We had 2 games on Monday night. We only got one. We got the New York Jets taking on the Cleveland Browns. All right, so guys, I will check you later. Check your lineups, manage your team, and good luck to you. Where am I at? It's not what I wanted.